Hi friends, welcome to the channel of Agadtantra. Today let us discuss the next syllabus topic, that is the contemporary importance of Virudhaahara. According to Ayurveda, we all are aware of the definition of the Virudhaahara. In simple terms, we can say that the Virudhaahara means the improper food combinations which are harmful to the body, which may not be harmful when we taken alone, but the combination of this may cause deleterious effect to the body. Then when we look into the modern view, we can say that Virudhaahara, it may induce inflammation at a molecular level, thereby disturbing the eicosanoid pathway and creating more arachidonic acid, thereby causing the increased prostaglandin 2 and thromboxane. As we look into these factors, they are responsible for creating inflammation in our body. Then this inflammatory effect, it is an important effect, as these are all the basic pathologies that create Agni-mandya, ama and a number of metabolic disorders. This ama, which we can call as the toxic metabolic byproducts, it circulates all over the body and performs the role of antigen provoking inflammatory pathway. Okay, simultaneously it also obstructs various channels like lymph, blood obstructing regular circulation as well as microcirculation. We all know that ama can cause Throdo Avaroda and it results in many of the diseases. This ama, they are unstable and they generate reactive free radicals, which is a root cause of many diseases and degenerative changes in the body. We all know that the free radical theory, it is developing nowadays, and the scientists, they are discovering that these free radicals, they are responsible for the creation of the many diseases and even the degenerative diseases in the body. If we look into the free radicals, it is a bit of chemistry, in that we know that if an atom has an outer shell that is not full, it may bond with another atom using the electrons to complete its outer shell. These type of atoms are known as free radicals. Atoms with a full outer shell, they are stable, but these free radicals, they are unstable, and in an effort to make up the number of electrons in their outer shell, they react quickly with other substances. And when the oxygen molecules split into single atoms that have unpaired electrons, they become unstable free radicals that seek other atoms or molecules to bond to. If this continues to happen, it begins a process called oxidative stress. And this oxidative stress can damage the body's cells, leading to a range of diseases and causes symptoms of aging and other degenerative diseases in the body. When we look into the properties of many of the drugs and even the food items, we can see the property that is antioxidant. This antioxidant, they help in this reduce the oxidative stress, thereby preventing the cause of diseases. Okay, then this Virudhaahara, they also deteriorate the nutrient value of the food. Such food combinations, they can prove harmful, which may be imparting its untoward effect on immune system, cellular metabolism, growth hormone and dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate. It is a steroid hormone which is produced by our adrenal gland, and it is responsible for the production of the male sex hormones and the female sex hormones. We have seen the concept that reheating of the oil, it creates more oxidation, and if consumed may create more oxidative stress, creating more free radicals. Recent study found that a toxin called 4-hydroxy-trans-2-nonenal, which can be short form, we can say it as HNE, forms when such oils such as corn, soybean and sunflower oils are reheated. And the consumption of the foods containing HNE from cooking oils have been associated with increased risks of cardiovascular disease, stroke, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, Huntington's disease, various liver disorders and cancer. Then the improper mixing of the food, it is thought to form toxins that results from the fermentation and putrefaction. We know that when the foods with improper combination are intaken, this carbohydrates and starch and all, it will lead to the fermentation of it, and the proteins, if undigested, it causes the putrefaction. And these toxins from the fermentation, the toxins produced are alcohol, acetic acid, etc. And from the putrefaction, it causes phenol, indole and scatol. And the end product of the putrefaction, a compound called methionine is formed, which is a confirmed animal carcinogen. These toxins, they also affect the alkaline or acid balance with subsequent effects on the intestinal flora also. In the modern science, a new branch called as trophology or food combining is developing, and according to this science, the food combining or trophology is the act of consuming foods that are compatible with one another to aid the body in properly metabolizing, absorbing and digesting the nutrients within them. When the food is properly combined, it results in proper metabolism, proper absorption, and we can absorb or digest the full nutrients within them. This is called as the trophology or food combining science. And according to this, they developed some rules for food consumption. That is, first, never eat a carbohydrate food and acid food at the same meal. Second one is, never eat a concentrated protein and a concentrated carbohydrate at the same meal. Next is, never consume two concentrated proteins at the same meal. Next is, do not consume fats with proteins, or do not eat acid fruits with proteins. Do not consume starches and sugars together. Eat one concentrated starch food at a meal. Do not consume melons with any other food, and the milk is best taken alone or left alone. Okay. According to the modern science, there are three main categories of food. We know that proteins, carbohydrates, which includes the starches and sugars, and hydrocarbons, that is fats, and each of these differ in the chemical composition. Their digestion, the enzymes, their medium of digestion, everything, and the time to digest the food items, they differ in every aspects. That is why when the foods are improperly taken, or improper combination is done, their foods, they are not able to get digested and results in the fermentation and putrefaction, which we have discussed earlier. Let's look into each of the food items, that is, which can be combined together, which cannot be combined together. Let's first look into the fruits. Fruits, they are eaten on an empty stomach, and it's best eaten alone, because the reason is it digests rapidly, and because of it may take in half an hour to digest. But when we intake many other things with these fruits, it causes the indigestion of both the foods. Nowadays, many fruits are combined together, but there are rules regarding the combining of that fruits also. For example, the low water content fruits, example banana, dates, custard apple, dry fruits, etc. They can be mixed with the sub-acid fruits, that is semi-sweet fruits, that is like mangoes, papaya, berries, apples, etc. And the acid fruits like lemons, grapefruit, pineapples, etc. They can be mixed with the sub-acid fruits and the fats. These are regarding the fruits. Next is the starches. We know that the starches, they require an alkaline environment, and they can be combined well with the vegetables and the fats. But these starches, they does not combine well with protein. When we look into the examples of the starches, it include rice, grains, potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrot, beetroot, etc. comes into the category of the starches. Next is the proteins. When we look into the proteins, these proteins for the digestion, it requires an acidic environment, and it digests slowly. It requires more time to digest than other foods, and it can be combined well with the non-starchy vegetables, and it should not be combined with starches or fats. If we look into the examples of the proteins, we can say that it is maybe chicken in the form of fish, that is eggs, chickpeas, lentils, etc. They have more content of the protein. Next is the fats. Fats, it can be combined well with the starches or the vegetables. Fats may include nuts, seeds, coconut oil, olives, avocados, dairy products, etc. Now let's look into the sugar. They can be combined with nothing. It is better eaten alone. So the sugar is should not be mixed with anything. Next is the leafy green vegetables. It can be combined with everything. And the reason for this combining is that the proteins must not get combined with starch and carbohydrates may be consumed differently. The reason is that the carbohydrates, they require the digestive enzyme amylase to break down starch and sugar, and the ptyalin, an enzyme that breaks down starch into maltose. But this amylase, they requires an alkaline environment and it is destroyed by mild acid. Whereas the proteins, they require the enzyme pepsin, which is only present with the secretion of hydrochloric acid. And these different processes of digestion cannot take place at the same time in an ideal way, as both chemical processes interfere with each other. That is why they are not getting digested when eaten in combination. Additionally, the digestive mediums, they are of low acidity and absent of pepsin when proteins, fats or acidic foods are combined. And this pepsin, they acts only in an acid medium. This pepsin, they are also destroyed in an alkaline environment such as precipitated by alcohol and retarded in low temperature environment such as with iced drinks on top of a meal. As we can see that the current trend is that eating a heavy lunch or dinner, and on top of that we are drinking cold drinks with that. These also impair the digestion of the foods that we have eaten. Next, about the consumption of fats and proteins together, as they have deemed futile because most foods when protein already contain a lot of fat, and the fats, they impede the secretion of digestive juices and reduce the amount of pepsin and hydrochloric acid, so they should be avoided or used sparingly with protein rich foods. Similarly, eating sugar and acid fruits hinder the action of ptyalin and pepsin, reducing the secretion of saliva and thereby delaying the digestion. In this way, the Virudhaahara acts in our body. Common Virudhaahara in day-to-day life, which I have got it from an article. According to this, the food we have taken, that is milkshake, fruit salad, etc., they are Rasa and Vidya Virudha. Juice, ice cream or alcohol after hot spicy meal, they are Upachara Virudha. Cold water or soft drinks before hot tea, they are Koshta and Agni Virudha. Spicy food with cold drinks, they are Avastha and Koshta Virudha. Sizzling brownie ice cream with hot chocolate, they are taking their Guna, Agni and Samyoga Virudha. And popcorn with watching movie, they may be a Matra Virudha. And popcorn along with the cold drink, it is a Vidhi Virudha. Thank you. Let's find out today's lecture. Let's meet in another continuous lecture. Thank you.